You can share screen first.
Okay,
Thank you.
let me pull up your presentation. Oops. All right. All right, I think. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
All right,
Thank
you guys are all set.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for coming out tonight and to just hear our presentation. So I'm Shayla. I have my colleague Sarah Bessie and then also Chris Cahill. So we are Boston Outdoor Preschool Network, and a little bit about our school is BOPN is a nonprofit organization which was founded by myself and Sarah Bessie, and our outdoor preschool give children a joyful daily activities that they are engaging in play and also exploration and wonder. And we believe in building community and also connecting children in nature and also with nature. So you can go to the next slide, please. So the lots at the end of the Woodcliff Street, they are owned by the city of Boston, and the lots have been vacant since the early 1980s. And of course, we have a proposal, and it is to transform the vacant lots into, a beautiful small nature preschool with lots of gardens and green space. And we will provide childcare at no cost to families and with a goal of priority enrollment for families who live within a 1 mile radius. So over here, you have a picture of the vacant lots with the proposed preschool building. You could see the preschool building over here, and you can also see some apple trees as well as some gardens to your left. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, you can go back. Sorry, my apologies. So this slide, you can see a close-up of the preschool building, and it's about 980 square feet. And in this picture, this is me with my, with my class. So I had 4 preschoolers and then 2 toddlers. And, we at BOPN, are very committed to diversity, equity, inclusion for families, staff, and also the local builders. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. So we are putting, you can go back again. Sorry about that. We are putting the neighborhood families first. And it means that, our goal is priority enrollment for families who live within 1 mile of the property, no tuition for families. We welcome, English language learners, and as well as we welcome, children with all abilities into our program. We will be recruiting teachers from Roxbury and Dorchester, and we will welcome bilingual teachers. And currently, right now, we are partnering with Success Link through the youth program from the city of Boston, which it gives the youth the opportunity to get, to get a first dib of early childhood education and alongside nature-based. And also we are able to train them and to let them, to give them the skills to go on, in life. If they choose to want to work with the children, they will have that skill to work with the children, or use the skill that they get from BOPN, to go into life. We will be offering above market salaries for lead teachers, and also offering health and dental benefits for full-time staff. And then as well as anti-bias curriculum that honors, each child's, home cultures. And as well as the program will be overseen by myself. So hiring local builders, we will be working with, construction supervisors who, are around the neighborhood, who are neighborhood residents, and also will be partnering with Youth Build Boston. So for the green space and also for the community use, is that the neighborhood groups and community members, they will be able to, book the preschool building for grounds or for classes, for meetings, or even events on evenings and weekends. And, most importantly, like we all love, gardening, is that they are able to request a garden plot. You can go to the next slide. I think there's one more before that. So if you do have any questions, you can feel free to reach, myself or Sarah Bessie. And I know it just popped up now, but this is our school. The children are out in winter, summer, or springtime. They are playing and engaging in nature and with nature. And if you do have any questions, you can reach to me or Sarah Bessie and to share your feedback or schedule a tour. We're more than happy, to give you a tour to show you, so you are able to understand, our philosophy and our mission and what we are giving, the gift we are giving to the children every day. You can go to the next slide. So this last slide has some resources. If you would like to see the site plans, our seasonal curriculum, and also the local child care crisis, you can click on the link. And if you do have more questions, again, Sarah, Bessie, and I, we're more than happy to answer your questions. And once more, thank you so much for listening to our proposal. And thank you.
Thank you, Shayla. Before we get into more questions and comments, could you just say an overview, just like, right, the city owns the land, they're going to put out a request for proposals, you're an interested party. Could you just give us an overview of that, just so everyone's on the same page?
Sarah, you want to take that?
Sure. Yeah. So Teresa Strachila is here from the City of Boston Grassroots Program, and she could probably give you a much better process in more detail, but we're going to go through the RFP process, and it's going to be a very long process, and we're going to have to make sure that the community is on board and in support of this project in order for it to move forward. So the goal is to have a lot of green space to make sure that we're aligning with the program's mission to preserve green space. That's very important, which is why the vast majority of the vacant lots are going to remain as green space and be improved with gardens and a small apple orchard, and nature play area.
And Teresa Strachilla here from the City of Boston Mayor's Office of Housing, just to weigh in and to complement what Sarah was saying. We're at the very beginning of the community engagement and outreach phase of looking at disposition of these particular set of lots. And before we're continuing, and as we begin that community engagement phase, encouraged the Boston Outdoor Preschool Network to reach out to DSNI and come to this meeting for some initial feedback and input as we begin the process.
Great, thank you.
So thanks, Minnie, for sort of trying to put some context into this, because that was my question. Like, where are you in this process? Do you have the land? Do you have the the resources to build? And so the city at this point is in the process of putting together an RFP for these sites. That's what I hear. And BNOP, or I can't remember the acronym, will be responding to that RFP. In terms of your, so I guess because you're a nonprofit, you would get the sites for practically nothing through the grassroots program. In terms of the actual construction part of what you're proposing, where is your fundraising? What do you have details on costs and fundraising at this point?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the preschool is going to be through Universal Pre-K. So Universal Pre-K is a City of Boston program, and it's linked with Boston Public Schools. So that's how we're able to offer the program tuition free, is by that partnership with Universal Pre-K. Universal Pre-K offers $99,000 to help programs get started on opening their Universal Pre-K site. So we'll have that funding. We might also get some funding from the City of Boston Grassroots program. We have our own fundraising campaigns. We have about 150 kids in our program right now. So we do our own fundraising from the parents who are currently in our programs. And then we're going to be doing grant writing as well. We also have a parent who happens to be a developer who says that he's going to try to help us out to get some of the materials at cost, like the lumber and the foundations. And he's also going to help us with permitting as well. Our builder is going to be from the community. His name is Daniel. And then we'll also be partnering with Youth Build Boston as well. So I think the cost of the building, I mean, it's 980 square feet. So we're actually in the process of getting estimates right now. But we're planning to use, we also have a small bit of reserve specifically from the pandemic year. So we're saving that up and wanting to dedicate that to this building as well. So it's going to be hard work, but we're going to do it because it's really important that childcare is free. That's really important to us. So we have to make it happen.
Great.
So.
Yeah, well, it looks like a really nice program. Where do you operate right now? Like, I mean, I'm assuming those pictures are from your most recent classes.
Yeah, so we started at the Arnold Arboretum, where we had half-day classes, and then we ended up launching a full-day class in spring 2021, Sarah. And then we have another location in Wellesley, and then we just opened one more location in Malden.
Yeah, and also actually we're going to open in fall 2024. We're very excited. We're going to open a Universal Pre-K tuition-free program at the Franklin Park Zoo between the gorillas and the giraffes. So, yeah.
Great. Do people have any questions?
What type of family are you looking for? For affordable family or anyone that will be interested to participate in?
We are looking for, as we had said, we will give, our goal is for priority enrollment for families who live at a 1 mile radius, but it is, open to, to families who would want to come to our program, who wants to know, about our program, and who also wants to send their children to engage in nature and with nature. So, anyone's welcome.
So we have a program in Jamaica Plain, right? So Jamaica Plain residents need to attend our Jamaica Plain program. That's very important. So, if you live in Jamaica Plain, you can attend our program at the Arnold Arboretum, but this program needs to be for the people who live very close to Woodcliff Street. So that's very important. We're talking with Universal Pre-K about that, and we're explaining to them why that's very important.
Great. I see Jose has his hand up. Jose, you want to unmute?
Yes, really excited about it, that something like that is coming to our community in an area that is there is a lot of need through many years has been forgotten. So very, very excited that you guys are bringing a program like this for our families that are so in need. Thank you.
What are the hours of the operations from?
We have to have, our program must be at least 6.5 hours per day. That's a requirement from Universal Pre-K. Now, if we would love to be able to offer before care and after care as well, but we would have to somehow figure out how to fund and staff those in order to offer them.
I'm curious about sort of how you approach or incorporate sort of existing green infrastructure, right, into your programming, or not. Does everything happen at your gardens, or how do you take advantage of existing or other gardens or farms within that 1 mile radius?
Yeah, Marcos, I'm really glad you asked that, because we're actually talking right now with Boston Food Forest Coalition, and we're trying to get in touch with the neighbors who are in charge of managing Sargent Street Park. We're very interested in wondering what's going on at Sargent Street Park, and wondering if that might be a good connection to literally connect the parcels at the bottom of Woodcliff with Sargent Street Park somehow, and make that just, whether it's a stairway or some way of getting to and from there without having to walk all the way around the block. So we would really like to collaborate with Boston Food Forest Coalition on that piece of it, or find some other group that's perhaps interested in restoring and improving the green space on Sargent, at what is currently called Sargent Street Park, but is not very accessible. Actually, what's funny, we approached the food project, right? And we're like, hey, you want to, collaborate with us? And they were like, oh, we took a look at that parcel, and it's great, but you know what? It's just not big enough or sunny enough for our needs. And so that's why we think Boston Food Forest Coalition might be a better partner, because they can tolerate those site conditions because they plant perennials rather than annuals.
Great. Okay, so again, this is really more of an informational presentation, and I'm assuming again, this is a longer process. We're far from where with the city putting it out, the RFP and so on. So, but it sounds great. I'm a big sort of urban gardening person, so I'm happy that you're introducing future farmers and gardeners to the process early on.
Thank you very much for listening to our presentation, and we would definitely really appreciate it. If DSNI is interested in writing a letter of support, that would be extremely helpful, so that we could use that letter to get funding for the project. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope that you'll consider that letter of support from the board of directors.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you. Great.
So I think at this point, we're gonna move into the sort of resident only discussion. Jose, you have another question?
No, no, I'm sorry. I was trying to lower
So
disregard.
if you're a resident of the neighborhood, you're welcome to stay and